Hey, what's going on? It's Thomas Galdenzi with Combat Sports Coverage. And on this edition, I'll be interviewing professional fighter Cassie Robb, who will be fighting for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 19th, July 23rd in Tampa, Florida, where she'll be taking on fast rising star Taylor Killer B Starling in one of the main featured fights of the night. So, Cassidy, tell me how your training camp is going so far, only about 2 weeks out from this huge fight.
Honestly, I'm a little bit nervous, but not like in a bad way. I'm just like anxious to try something different because I've never had a bare knuckle fight before, but I can't imagine it's too much different than, MMA gloves because those still hurt quite a bit. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to meet her. She's a pretty cool girl. So I'm excited to share the ring with her.
And what's been the biggest difference getting ready for this bare knuckle fight, and then other than doing like your MMA fights?
Well, first of all, like the boxing, I mean, you can't take them down to the ground and stuff. But then like the difference with regular boxing, you can't really fight in the clinch. So now I'm actually getting to utilize that and like hold them and kind of like pummel them and stuff like that. So that's been different, but it's fun and it's a little more fast paced because it's only 2-minute rounds. So I got to push the pace a lot faster and get more punches in.
And what about like body conditioning? Is there a difference maybe in getting your body conditioned, like one for like the face shots are a little probably different, and then also your knuckles are going to probably be, they're more exposed. You have no gloves on. Have you been doing anything maybe to make your knuckles a little stronger or anything like that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I'll hit mitts without gloves or some like I started out with doing it with hand wraps and stuff, and then just kind of going from big gloves to smaller gloves to hand wraps to nothing. So I mean, I got pretty tough hands. I think I'm gonna do good. I'm a barber, so I'm hoping I don't screw them up too much. But
Definitely. And how do you see this fight playing out versus Taylor? Do you see yourself winning by KO, TKO, or is this going to be an all-out war?
man, I would like it to I would like it to finish in the first couple rounds, but her and I are very tenacious, and I think we have a lot of a similar fight style. So I think that it probably could go the distance.
And what will be your biggest advantage in this fight, do you believe? Do you think it'll be maybe your speed, your power, your cardio, maybe your heart, or is it just something else?
I think probably my speed because I'm a lot smaller too. Like I'm going up 2 weight classes to fight. And I think I just have a lot more experience. So I think that I take better angles and I don't really just sit in the pocket and bang. Like I'm usually kind of trying to get in there and then get out of the way, move to a different angle and then go at it again.
Oh, so that's awesome. I actually didn't know this fight was going to be a higher fight for you up a couple weight classes. How do you like that so far? Is that a little bit more intimidating, or do you kind of like not have to worry about cutting weight?
I mean, it's intimidating in the sense maybe that like I know she's gonna pack a hard punch, but it's like I've trained with, Thug Rose and Valentina Shevchenko and a lot of bigger people too. So I know I can take it. It's just it is hard for me to gain weight though. That's the thing. Like I'm kind of a petite girl, but I'm doing pretty good so far. I mean, I still might be like a couple pounds under, but I don't think I think they'd rather me be under than over. That's for sure.
Definitely on that one. And how are you going to use a lot of you've fought on a lot of big stages like Bellator, Invicta, and many others. How is that going to benefit you heading into this bare knuckle fight?
I think that it'll benefit me in ways that like I don't feel like nervous to get in front of like big crowds like that anymore, because I mean, I'm from Wyoming and I used to just fight in front of like little crowds. And then, Invicta and Ryzen, that was probably the biggest one I fought for. And that was like 30,000 people or something. I was just like, oh man. So I don't know. I think it doesn't put as much pressure on me now that I've done bigger shows and stuff like that.
And this will be your promotion debut for Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. How long have you maybe known about this fight, and how long have you been like trying to get on their card?
So I think it might have been a different bare knuckle promotion, but I got asked like a couple years ago, I think, to do it. And then I had seen Taylor Starling's fight and she had posted something like, who should I fight next? And I kind of was like, hey, me, just kind of messing around. She's like, that'd be so dope. Like we should set it up. So she got a hold of Nate and he called me and I was like, I'll do it. Let's go.
That's awesome. And speaking of Taylor, did you see her last fight in bare knuckle fighting championship?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was impressed. So I know what I'm going going up against. But I mean, again, I've trained with, really well-known people and really tough people. So I think it's going to be brutal. I think we're both not going to look very good afterwards.
Yeah, that last fight was definitely a bloodbath. So, and, have you ever been in like I know you have a lot of professional fights, but have you been in like many like street fights where it is just no gloves and it's knuckles?
Not really. I think I've been in like 2 street fights. And never before I started fighting. I think I had like 2 or 3 amateur fights, and I got sucker punched one time. So I had to beat that girl up.
Wow, that's a good one. That's crazy. And then also on the card in the main event, we'll see Paige Van Zam taking on RACHAEL Ostovich, and then we'll also see Britain Hart in the co-main event. Britain Hart taking on Jenny Savage, and those are some other big name girls fights in bare knuckle fighting championship. And I kind of just wanted to get your picks on those fights. Who do you think are going to win those ones?
That's tough. Paige and RACHAEL is going to be a really good one. I'm pulling for RACHAEL because I like her more. Nothing against Paige or anything. I just know RACHAEL a little bit better. And then I hope Britain wins because I really don't like Jenny Savage. Like, I don't have problems with anybody, but that girl just talked so much shit to me for the last couple of years. And I guarantee the press conference we're probably going to have to sit by each other. So hopefully something doesn't pop off. But if it does, well, the world's going to see it.
That's awesome. That's getting me super excited for the upcoming fight and the fight card. And then if you could pick, maybe one of those girls as your next opponent, who do you think it would be?
Probably Jenny.
Oh, nice. I like that. And then also when do you get to Florida?
I think they are sending me out on the 20th because I have to do the press conference, and then we come back the 24th.
Awesome. And have you ever fought in Florida before?
No, I've been to Florida once, and it was just for vacation. It was Orlando, but I haven't been to Tampa or Miami. I think Miami was where their last one was.
Yep, the last one was in Miami. And so I was looking at your record, and you fought a lot of tough girls in your career. A lot of names stood out to me, like a UFC fighter now, Jin Yong Fry, ONE FC fighter, B. Nugent. You also fought longtime MMA fighter Andy Nugent. But one of the names that stood out to me the most was Lauren Shashenko, was your pro debut. And I'm actually, I watch her on the UFC and all the interview stuff. So like, how's it kind of like seeing her on like the big stage of the UFC doing the interviews, knowing that you fought her?
It's crazy. I honestly, I kind of thought that maybe she'd get back into it after, she had her baby and stuff. But then she just started, doing like the interview things and what do you call it, like a journalist kind of,
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, it's crazy. She blew up, but she's really good at her job. Like, I think that she made the right move. She still trains though too, which is cool, but I just don't see her ever really coming back, unfortunately.
Yeah, probably not now that she has a sweet little gig going on.
Right.
But what is something you like to do outside of training and fighting? Do you have like any other hobbies?
I like to cut hair. Yeah. And I like to just be outside. My boyfriend likes fishing a lot, and I ended up getting a pole, and now I'm always like, it's a nice day to fish. Like, I never really grew up doing it that much, and now I just, on a nice day, I don't want to go fishing.
Oh,
I don't like to touch them really, but
how often do you maybe go fishing, you think?
I try to do a couple times a week. Usually it's really hot here in Denver though, so I try to go in the morning when it's a little cooler, or in the evening when it's cooler too. But I don't know how I turned into a fisherwoman, I guess I should say.
Very cool. Very cool. It's always nice to have, other hobbies, especially to go outside in Denver. I bet it's a beautiful area to be outside in. And then do you have any other special shout outs to any sponsors or training partners?
Just pretty much my gym, the compound. It's more of a jiu-jitsu gym, but everybody's really stepped up to help me, with conditioning and holding mitts for me. I have a couple of people over at DCO. Kat Peprocky, I actually fought her for the Queen of Sparta. She's been helping me out a lot, so kudos to her. Oh yeah, my chiropractor. Oh man, I had a lot of injuries going into this. I just competed in a jiu-jitsu match, I think that was a month ago, and I got slammed and I hurt my neck pretty bad. So just, keeping me in line, ready for this fight.
Man, chiropractors and me do not mix. They freak me out. I went one time. I don't ever want to go back. They hurt.
Yeah, well, I mean, some of the stuff he does, like the dry needling, we had to do it in my neck the other day too. It's like that is like acupuncture needle, and they kind of move it so your muscles just like twitch. Oh, it's horrible. And I had one in my hip and then in my shoulder. Oh, I know. As soon as I see him pull out that box, I'm like, oh god. All right. Take some deep breaths.
And then, do you have any last words to your opponent, Taylor?
I'm excited to meet you and punch you in the face. But yeah, no, she's been super respectful. We actually talk quite a bit, which is nice because, you don't have to have that beef when you go in there. It's actually more fun if you get along. Then you can go out and like drink afterwards and hang out. So yeah, I'm just excited to meet her and just have her test my skills. You know what I mean? I've been doing it a long time, but bare knuckle is a lot different. So we'll see.
Well, definitely. And thank you for giving me some of your time, giving me an interview, especially so close to the fight. Everyone needs to make sure to tune into Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship 19th, July 23rd in Tampa, Florida, to watch Cassie Robb put on a show versus Taylor Starling.
Yes. Tune in. It's going to be a bloodbath.